just some factorizations to get us started with the section of parabolas, which we're going to be doing today. And yeah, if you can, please let us know where you're at, which town you're in a city, in South Africa, and we'd really like to know where you're at. Yeah, and try these two questions out, and we can go through them together very shortly.
Hi everybody, I'm Marelise. I'm joining Depeche today. Welcome to the course. Please make sure that you tell us where you are by typing in the chat on the side. You'll see that there's a chat on the right hand side. So please tell us what town you live in, what town you are coming from, and you can type it in there. And then try the two questions that he has placed on the board for you to do.
It's really great to see some of you. I've interacted with you on the chat before, on the Watobi app, and I'm seeing some familiar names. So welcome to the live session. It's so great to have you here with us today.
Depeche, just maybe check. We don't see the whiteboard anymore. So just see if you can share it with us again, please. Guys, we are just bringing the whiteboard back up, so then you can see the questions that we would like you to try while you wait for everyone to come. Perfect, thanks. Now we can see.
Great. For those of you that have just joined, I'm Deepesh, and we're starting the session today by trying out these two factorization questions. Number one being x squared minus 4, and number two, x squared minus x minus 6. And I'd like you to factorize both of them.
And don't forget to type in where you are from, where you are this afternoon. We've got Kaylee here. Welcome, Kaylee. You are in Mumra near Atlantis. Welcome. Where's everyone else from? I'd love to see.
For those of you wondering where you can type, there's a chat that you can type out your answer and let us know where you're at.
You should see at the bottom, there's a little icon with a speech bubble. That's your chat. Wow, Sabelo, you are from Emma, I'm going to try to say this right, Emma Kobeni in Inanda. Welcome, Sabelo. Did I say it right? Please correct me if I messed that up horribly. So if you're wondering where I am, I'm in Cape Town. I'll type that in as well. And our teacher, Depeche, is in Johannesburg. So he's in Joburg.
Yeah, in Joburg, just like Lesedi, who's also from Joburg. And we've got Jason from Cape Town.
Pang from Pretoria East. Kayla's from Durban. Sure, we're all over, but we've got two from Durban so far. Inanda is in KwaZulu-Natal, yeah. Oh, did I say it right? Well, thanks, Abelo.
We've also got Cloney from Durban.
Well
Welcome,
done.
Cloney.
Welcome.
Deepesh, I think the board.
Yes.
Guys, if you can please mute your microphone so that we don't get too much background noise, that would be great. So where you see at the bottom of your screen mic, just click on it so that you can mute it.
We've also got Antatile from Joburg and Chechetsang from Pretoria.
Nice. Okay, we're going to give it 1 more minute, I think, and then we can start. You should be doing the 2 questions that's on the board that Depesh put up as a warm-up exercise for you.
These questions on factorization are very useful for when we're doing the parabolas.
Okay, we are going to start the lesson. I think it is, most of us are here. So please, guys, mute your microphone. If you're not talking to Depesh, please mute your microphone so that we don't get background noise. I want everyone now to please mute their microphones. It should be at the bottom of your screen where it says mic. Just click on it and it will turn pink with a line through it. Thank you, that's great. Right, and while we're there, let's find the chat. I think most of you were able to find the chat. And if you click on the chat, you should also see some emojis popping up. So let's wave at each other and say hi, welcome everyone. Welcome to today's grade 11 lesson. Can we all have a wave, please? That one, yes.
Great.
Excellent. Okay, and can we also maybe have a high five? Let's high five each other for showing up on this Thursday afternoon to do some maths. Great stuff. Okay, again, someone's mic. Please mute your microphone. And then just to remind you, have pen and paper ready. You are going to be working quite closely with what Depesh is going to be doing. So have pen and paper ready to do your work. If you have an answer that you want to give, you can write it in the, well, actually, you'll type it in the chat, like here. Type your answer in the chat on the side. And then lastly, use your emojis to communicate with us about how you are finding the problems. If you're understanding, give us a thumbs up. If you are, so that's a thumbs up for understanding and being good with what's going on. If you're feeling unsure, just give us thumbs down. And if you're very confused, give us the confused face. Okay. So welcome. We've got everyone here from all corners of the country this afternoon, and I'm going to hand over to Dipesh to start our lesson on parabola.
Great. And I see we've got Ribone who's giving us some answers already. Thank you for that. And you're also very welcome to type your answers in the chat, just as Ribone has done. And we can check whether we're correct or whether there's something that we're missing. So yeah, I'm going to have a look now at the first one, which is x squared minus 4. And yeah, what type of factorization is that? To begin with, anybody have an answer? You're welcome to type in the chat and let me know. You know, we get different types of factorization. So x squared minus 4, what type of factorization is that? Yes, well done, Cloney. That's difference of two squares. So x squared minus 4, we call it dots or difference of two squares. Okay, so this is a factorization where we get two terms and they can both be square rooted. And we then get two brackets. So if we square root x squared, we get x, and when we square root 4, we get x minus 2. So that's the first bracket. What's the second bracket? Anybody want to give it a try? What's the second bracket going to be? If the first one is x plus 2. Yes, well done. Well done. Well done, Mpo. Well done, Riboni. It's once again, if you can mute your mics, please, that would be great. So the first one is x minus 2, and the second bracket is x plus 2. So this, we've factorized it, and we've formed two brackets with the difference of two squares. You can let me know how you find this one. Was this okay? Do you understand the difference of two squares? You can show a thumbs up if you're understanding, or use a different emoji if you're not. Okay, we've got some. Why is it x plus 2? The rule for difference of two squares is that the one bracket will be a positive and the other bracket will be a negative, right? So the one bracket must be a negative and the one bracket must be a positive for the difference of two squares. Okay, so we come now to the next one, question number 2. What color should I use for that one? I think I will use a green. So the next one, question number 2, is x squared minus x minus 6. Anybody want to let me know what type of factorization is this? What do we call this type of factorization? Yes. Zanama, that's great. Anybody else? Okay, on Tatile, quadratic equation. It can be quadratic, however, it doesn't have an equal to, so we can't call it an equation just yet, but it is quadratic, so that's good of you to notice that. So we generally call it a trinomial. Okay. Yes, trinomial. And we identify the trinomial because the term is generally an x squared term, then we have an x term, and we have a constant term, and that's why it is a trinomial. And we'll come to the standard equation shortly when we're doing our parabolas and our graphs, right? So yeah, those of you who have tried to factorize this, what answers did you get for the factorization of this expression? In the chat. Yes, we've got an answer here from Zanama. Okay, great. Are there people who agree with Zanama's answer? If you can look in the chat, Zanama's typed an answer. Do you agree with that, or is Zanama not correct? Do you have a different answer?
Dipesh, can we just ask that you do the bring everyone to me again on the whiteboard? There we go. Thank you, Dipesh.
Okay. So yeah, so we've got an answer here. So it is x squared minus x minus 6, and in order to do this, we're going to look for two numbers. When multiplied, give us minus 6. So two numbers, when multiplied, give us minus 6. And when added, give us minus 1, because we have a minus 1 here. And those two numbers are minus 3 and 2. Because when you have minus 3 times 2, we get minus 6. And when we add them, we get minus 1. So the two brackets are correct. Shoni, you also agree. We've got Malang, who also agrees. Well done. Great. You all seem to be experts at factorization. Okay, so it's x minus 2, x plus 2, x3. Well done. So those are our two brackets, x plus 2 and x minus 3. Great. Okay. So that's great. Thank you for starting out the lesson with that. It will be really helpful now for us to use these type of factorizations in our parabolas. Okay. So it's x plus 2 and x minus 3. Zanama, the signs we've got, it's plus 2 and minus 3. Hey? Yeah. And remember, this is not an equation, so we don't have it equal to something or greater or less than equal to something. It's just an expression, so we're just factorizing it into two brackets. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to now move on to more exciting content for the lesson today, which is the parabolas. And yeah, Marilise, do you have anything to share, or shall I continue?
No, I think we can go for it.
Okay, great. All right, so yeah, so how are you feeling about factorization? You can show and press maybe some emoji and let me know how's this looking so far, the factorization. Is this something you've done before? Is it going okay? I see lots of thumbs up. Yay! Some hands clapping. That's great stuff. Shoo! Even party hats. You guys are loving factorization. I'm really glad because it's really going to help us with the graphs now. Shoo! Okay, even some really loving it. Eh? Great stuff. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so I'm just going to share the board again. Whoops. Let's try and share the board again. Okay, just going to have to give a second. I'm going to be just fixing this quickly.
So while Dipesh just gets the board back up, I'm wondering, give a thumbs up if you've done parabola before. Can I see who's done parabola? Okay. And then choose another emoji to show how you feel to understand it, if you feel good about it, or if not, give a confused face or a thumbs down. Okay. Confused face, mostly confused faces there. Okay. So I think after this, we'll definitely feel better about it. And yeah, okay. or on to Mr. to Dipesh.
Great. So yeah, we're now going to go straight to the graphs.
I'm sorry, Dipesh, the
Yes,
board's gone
yeah, I
again.
realize that.
Tulisile, if you could just maybe not click on that little screen icon, okay? If you can just only click on your chat button and on your microphone and on your camera, not on the screen button, please. Tulisile, if you heard me, please just give a thumbs up so that I know you heard me.
Okay, so today we've set aside two parabolas to do, and we've got the type 1 and we've got the type 2, very similar to the factorization that we've just done. So the first one, parabola type 1, is the equation y equals ax squared plus q. So y equals ax squared plus q is the first type of parabola. Yeah, you can show me a thumbs up or another emoji if you've seen this equation before. Great, I see most of you have seen it. It is a grade 10 type of parabola, very important for us to revise it. Okay, I've got one thumbs down. You haven't seen it before. Hopefully, we'll go through it today and you'll get an understanding of it. So it's y equals ax squared plus q. And an example of this one would be y equals x squared. Now remember, in our previous one, we had x squared minus 4. So this one here is similar to that one. We're going to say x squared minus 9. So x squared minus 9 is this type of parabola. So there are several steps involved in drawing the parabola. So our aim here today is to draw the parabola. Yeah, maybe if you want to type in the chat, what is the first step that we have when we're drawing a parabola? What's the first step that we have when we draw a parabola? Let's have a look. So the first step would be finding the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Well done. We've got an answer here from Sanama. Do you all agree with Sanama? So it's finding the x-intercept and the y-intercept, right? Okay, so the first thing to find the x-intercept, what is the value of y at the x-intercept? What is the value of y at the x-intercept? Great, 0. We've got an answer here. At the x-intercept, the y is equal to 0. Okay, so first step, step 1, find the x-intercept. Find x-intercept. And here y equals to 0. Okay, so we're going to make y equal to 0. So we have 0 equals x squared minus 9. And you may have noticed that this equation again is representative of your difference of two squares. Okay, so we've got the difference of two squares. Okay, so the difference of two squares, we're going to factorize it then into two brackets. Okay, what are the two brackets going to be? For this particular equation, we've got x squared minus 9. What are the two brackets? How do we factorize it into the two brackets? You can type it in the chat and let me know. Yes, great. So it is x minus 3 and x plus 3. can just show me an emoji to let me know whether this is what you were thinking. Yeah. Great. Lots of thumbs up. X minus 3, x plus 3. Now we're going to actually find the 2x values. So we've got x minus 3 equals to 0 and x plus 3 equals to 0. So our 2x values will then be x equals 3 and x equals minus 3. So values, x equals to 3 and x equals to minus 3. Great. Okay, so we found our 2x values. Now we need to find, as you said earlier, the y-intercept. So that is our step 2. Our step 2 is to find the y-intercept. Find the y-intercept. What is the value of x at the y-intercept? Yes, Kaylee, well done. Cheketsang, Lesedi, Zanama, great. So x equals to 0 at the y-intercept. So we've got our equation, y equals x squared minus 9, and we're going to make x equal to 0. So we're going to say y equals to 0 squared minus 9, which is 0 minus 9. So y will equal minus 9. Okay, so we've got now the y-intercept. Okay, so we had our 2x intercept, x equals 3, x equals minus 3, and our y-intercept of y equals to minus 9. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this here, but I'd like to write a little summary. Yeah, is this okay? Y equals minus 9? Okay, Sipesihle, I'm going to show you on the graph now why is it that when we're in the x-intercept, y is equal to 0, and the y-intercept, x is equal to 0. When we draw the graph, you'll be able to see it graphically. So great, I see lots of thumbs up. So I'm going to move this up, and I'm just going to write a quick summary here on the side. So we've got our x equals to 3, x equals to minus 3, and y equals to minus 9. Great. We can now draw this graph. I'm just going to draw it here on the side. Whoops. Okay. And let's draw another line. Okay. So this is our axis, and we've got here y, and we've got x. So x, we've got minus 3, and we've got, I'm wondering whether I've drawn it a bit too far out. I think let's bring it a bit more in. So we've got here minus 3, and we've got 3, and okay, and then we've got y, remember, is minus 9. So you can actually, if you want, put it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, I need to draw the line a bit longer now. Okay, and then we've got 8 and 9. Okay, so we've got here minus 9 being the y, right? Okay, so we are now going to draw a parabola, and we're going to draw it freehand. Remember, you don't use a ruler for this type of graph, okay? So this type of graph does not involve a ruler. So, okay, so I'm going to draw it freehand. So the graph like that. And we are going to turn it up like that. And there we go. We've got the graph of y equals x squared minus 9. Right, and we are asked the question, why is y equal to 0 at the x-intercept? So here's your x-intercepts. We've got the x-intercept here. And at the x-intercepts, look at the value of y. Y equals to 0, see? And at the y-intercept, which is here, the x value is 0. So that's why we say at the x-intercept, the y is 0, and at the y-intercept, the x is 0. Okay, how's this graph looking, everybody? Okay, we've got a question here from Zanama about the turning point in this graph. So yes, so in this particular graph, the turning point is actually the y-intercept. So the turning point here, if you look at this graph, because it's symmetrical, see the graph is the same on both sides. So we've got the turning point here where the x is 0 and the y is minus 9. So the turning point for this type of graph where we're solving using difference of two squares, the turning point is the y-intercept. Okay, so this one here is the turning point. Okay, yeah, how's this looking? Can maybe show me some signs to let me know how it's going. Let's write the equation down. The equation is y equals x squared minus 2x minus 8. So y is equal to x squared minus 2x minus 8. Okay, so the first step, as in the previous one, what is the first step in drawing this parabola? You're welcome to type in the chat and let me know what the first step is. Step 1. Step 1 in drawing this parabola. The same as the previous one. What was the previous one's first step? Step 1, have a look at your notes. Yes, okay, Ribone. Factor out, which means we're going to be looking for which axis, the x-axis or the y-axis. So we first start with the x-axis where we're going to factor out, right? So step 1, x-intercept. And at the x-intercept, we have y equals to what? Y equals to? Yes, 0. Great. So y equals to 0. Thanks for those answers. So we're going to say 0 equals to x squared minus 2x minus 8. Okay. Anybody want to try and factorize this? You're welcome to type your answer in the chat. Factorize x squared minus 2x minus 8 into two brackets. What would those two brackets be? You can see a lot of you are trying to work that out. Once you have an answer, you can type it in the chat.
Dipesh, I see quite a few people not really writing anything down. So remember, grade 11s, you're only going to get good at this if you try it and if you're actively working with a pen and paper. So don't wait for someone to think of the answer. Give it a go. Try it yourself. And maybe we can also ask some people for answers. Maybe we can, maybe we can start calling on some people for answers.
I see we've got some answers now that you've mentioned that. A lot of people to try it out. Yay. So we've got some answers. We've got quite a few. We've got Malang. We've got Relebohile. Sure, a lot of them the same answers. We've got Sipesihle, Rebone, Hloni, Sabelo. Hloni, you say that you're not so sure of that answer. Do you maybe want to tell me why? You're welcome to unmute yourself, Hloni. All right, no, it's no problem. You can also type in, okay, you said you made an error. Okay, you can let me know what the right answer is then. Okay, so we've got quite a few answers here. And Relebohile, maybe if you want to tell us how you got to your answer. You're welcome to unmute if you want. Where's Relebohile? Okay. Okay, no, that's no problem. Okay, I see. Okay, so I'm going to factorize this and we're going to see. So we need to look for, okay, so Relebohile, thanks for that. We're going to look for two numbers when multiplied gives us -8. So that is -4 and 2, because when they added, we need to get -2, right? So it's -4 and 2. So the two brackets will be 0 equals x minus 4 and x plus 2. So that is our answer, x minus 4, x plus 2. Some of you have answers, but the signs, I think you've written x plus 4, x minus 2 for some of you. Remember, we need to look for two numbers when multiplied gives us -8 and when added gives us -2, right? So maybe just check the factorization on that. So through this now we can write out our two x values. Remember, we're going to split it up into x minus 4 equals to 0 and x plus 2 equals to 0. So we got x equals 4 and x equals -2. So these are our two x-intercepts. Okay. Great. How's this looking? You can show me some signs to let me know how it's going. How's this x-intercepts? Is that okay? Great. Okay, great. Well done. Great, great, great. Okay. Next step, step 2, is to find the y-intercept. So step 2. So to find the y-intercept, what is the value of x? X equals, yay, great. Thanks, Joy. Ontotile, Sipesihle, well done. X equals to 0. So we're going to say y equals x squared minus x minus 2x minus 8. And we're going to plug 0 in the place of x. So y then equals to -8. Yeah? Is this okay? You get how to find the y? Yes. Okay, great. Thanks for that, Sabelo. Okay. So we've got the y-intercept, we've got the x-intercept. Are you all with me so far? Yes. Great. Okay, we've got some high fives there as well. Okay, thank you. Great. So we've got our x, we've got our y, but this one we need to focus a little bit more on the turning point. So that one is step 3. The turning point. So I'm going to write that in a different color. So step 3, which is the turning point. Okay. Does anybody know what equation we use for the turning point? And remember, our equation was y equals to x squared minus 2x minus 8, right? What equation do we use for the turning point? And this was in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, right? Okay, we're getting some answers here. Anybody want to take a try? Welcome to unmute yourself as well if you want to say what the answer is. Just call out your name, or you can type it in the chat. Okay, Zanama, minus b over 2a. Well done. Yeah. So we've got the turning point to find x. It's minus b over 2a. Have any of you heard of this equation before to find the turning point? Minus b over 2a? Nope. Haven't heard of that. Okay. Okay, so x equals minus b over 2a, right? So in this particular equation here, we've got the a is 1, see a value is 1, b is minus 2, and the c is 8. I'm just going to circle them. A is 1, b is minus 2, and c is minus 8, right? So we've got a being 1, b is minus 2, and c is minus 8. So I'm going to find the turning point, minus b over 2a. So it's minus, and then the b is minus 2 over 2 times 1. So it's minus 2 over 2 times 1. Remember, minus and minus gives us a plus. So it's 2 over 2, which is 1. And this is our x value of our turning point. Okay. So in the turning point, we need an x and we need a y. So to find the x, we said minus b over 2a. We find the x. Now we need to find the y. So to find the y, we are going to take the x and plug it into the original equation, right? So y, so the y value of, I'm going to write TP as turning point. Take the x of the turning point and plug into the original equation. So we've got your y equals to x squared minus 2x minus 8. Okay, so that's the original equation. And in this equation, we're going to take the x of the turning point, which is x equals to 1. And you can see in the place of x, I've plugged in 1, which is the value of the x at the turning point, right? Great. Is this okay so far? Great. Okay, great. Thank you. All right. So we plug in this. Now you can work this out for me. It's going to be 1 minus 2 minus 8. 1 minus 2 minus 8. And what is that? One minus 2. Yes, thank you. Minus 9. Great. So we've got our turning point being 1 and minus 9. Okay. Sepesihle, I see that you've got a question. Do you want to maybe unmute yourself? Oh, where do we get the 2a? Okay, no, the 2a, Sepesihle, this is the standard equation, minus b over 2a. So where do we get the 2a? We just go to our original equation, which is, excuse me, so it's 2a. So if we say 2a, it means we're going to plug in 2 times a, and our a value here is 1. So it's 2 times 1. Okay? So it's minus b over 2a, and the a was from our original equation, the quadratic. Okay, is that okay? So we've got, yes, that's right, Cheketsang, that's 1 and minus 9 is our turning point, right? So we've got our x-intercept, we've got our y-intercept, and we've got our turning point. 3 components to this, right? with more than 3 steps. So we can now draw a graph, right? Are you all ready to draw the graph? Okay, great. Okay, so you can draw your axis so far. You can draw your axis on your paper. You can draw your axis. I'm just going to write a quick summary here. We had x equals to 4. We had x equals to -2. We had y equals to -8. And we had our turning point being 1 and -9. Okay, so that's the summary. Now we can draw a graph. Okay, we've got our y there. And we've got our x, right? So let's plug in our values. So we've got here -2 for x. And we've got 2 and 4. And we've got our y being, I'm going to, actually, let me do this. Okay, I think it's fine. So we're going to then say here in the y, I've got here maybe say -4, -8, then -9 would be here somewhere, right? Okay, and remember halfway between the 0 and 2 would be 1 here somewhere, right? I'll just put that in there because we need those points. Okay, great. So we've got x equals 4, x equals -2, and where is that? Here, -2, and we've got 4. And then we've got our turning point. So we've got our y-intercept here, and our turning point at 1 and -9 there. Okay, so you all ready to draw this? Let's connect the points, right? Do you have all your points? Yeah? Great. Okay, let's draw this now. I'm going to try my best to draw it between the lines and not not get it all over. So let's all try our best. Okay, so let's try this out. Whoops. Okay, I'm going to erase that. Okay, and this is y equals to x squared minus 2x minus 8. Yeah. How's your graph looking? For those of you that have drawn it, maybe if you want to just pick them up and just wave them about and just show me what you have. Is it looking okay? Did you draw it okay? Oh, right, I see some of you are showing them to me. Great, well done. That looks great. Okay, so this is y equals x squared minus 2x minus 8. Right? Okay, so this is our second graph, and we're only doing 2 today. So we've got ax squared plus q and ax squared plus bx plus c, and this is the second graph that we have.
There is a question here from Tsang. Why is a -9 on the y-axis?
Okay, so Tsang, we've got, remember our y-intercept was -8. So that is here at -8. So then what happens? The graph comes more down and it turns. That's why -9 is the turning point. It is a point that's not on the y-axis because -8 is. Remember, what is the point on the x and y-axis? It is the intercepts. So the x-intercepts here are -2 and 4, and the y-intercept is -8. So we only put the intercepts on the axis. So here the intercept is minus 8. Is that okay, Tsehet-san? Yes, great, well done. Okay, cool. So yeah, how's the second graph looking? Looking okay? Yeah? Gonna give me a high five? Great, well done. Cool. All right. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that is the second graph that we have for today. Yeah, so yeah, Marilis, do you think we should do another one, or are we pressed for time?
I think we should give them one to try now. Yes.
Great.
I think
Okay,
that would be good.
cool.
Just to nail these concepts down.
Yes, I've got one
And
more
this one they
left.
must do on their own. And yeah, this one they must do on their own. We'll give them a few minutes to do it on their own.
Great stuff. Thanks for that. Great. Okay, cool. So I'm going to move this up. I think you all have it ready and have it on your in your books. So I'm going to give you another one here, which is y equals okay, I'm going to give you y is equal to x squared minus 4x minus 5. And I'd like you to find x-intercept, y-intercept, turning point, and draw. Okay. So, yep, x squared minus 4x minus 5. You can have a look and think which type that is. For those of you that are still in the chat there, you can type, let me know what type do you think this is, 1 or 2? Yes, great. Okay, let's try it out. Find x-intercept, y, and the turning point. Great, well done for identifying that. Okay. Right, we'll give you a few minutes to work these out, and we can check our answers and compare. Yeah, remember to write all your steps down and while you're working it out. Yeah, see some of you are typing it in the chat, your answers. You're also welcome to do that, and then we can compare and check with each other. X-intercept, Y-intercept, you can label them. Okay, see some of you are giving me answers. I'll give you maybe one more minute, then we can go to it. Give you one more minute, and we can check the answers. Some great answers coming from you. Okay, I'm going to have a look at it now. See, I've got lots of answers, which means a lot of you are done. So yeah, let's look. So we've got the first x-intercept. What is the value of y? Y equals to 0, right? So let's write this down. Okay, so I'm going to write your x-intercept. Y equals to 0. So we've got x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals to 0. And this factorizes into x minus 5 and x plus 1 equals to 0. Great. And I see I've got a lot of you that have written these answers. Yes. Okay, so it's x minus 5, x plus 1. Okay. And then we split it up, so it's going to be x minus 5 equals to 0 and x plus 1 equals to 0. So we get x equals 5 and x equals to minus 1. So we've got our two x-intercepts, 5 and minus 1. Great, well done to those of you that have given answers. Then the next one we've got is our y-intercept, and the value of x at the y-intercept is 0. Okay, Trish, you said, what if you've swapped the signs? It's very important to have the signs this way, because remember, it's you have to revise your factorization if you're struggling with this, because in this we're looking for two numbers when multiplied give us minus 5, and when added give us minus 4. See, so two numbers when multiplied give us minus 5. This color is a bit light, and when added gives us minus 4. So when you multiply the two numbers, they must give us minus 5, and when you add them, they must give you minus 4, right? And those two numbers are only going to be minus 5 and 1, right? So therefore it has to be x minus 5, x plus 1, right? So just recap your factorization of trinomials. So we've got two x-intercepts, which is x equals to 5 and x equals minus 1. To find your y-intercept, you make x equal to 0. So it's going to be y equals x squared minus 4x minus 5. So y equals 0 squared minus 4 times 0 minus 5, which equals minus 5. Yay, and I see lots of you with that answer. Great. Okay. How many of you got -5 as y? Great, great, thank you. Great, yay. Okay, great stuff. Okay, so we got y equals -5, and then we need to look at the turning point. I'm tempted to write the turning point here at the bottom. It will be a bit squashed, but I think we can put everything together. So the turning point, we need to say minus b over 2a. Okay, I think I'll write it. I'll just move this up and write it here. So the turning point, remember, x equals to minus b over 2a. And in our equation, we had y equals x squared minus 4x minus 5. And this is a x squared, bx, and c. So our a equals to 1, b equals to -4, and c equals to -5, right? So we need the b here. Yeah? Okay. Okay. Yeah, see, some of you are saying you had a bit of a challenge. I hope you've managed to find where you made a mistake. So we've got x equals minus b over 2a, which is minus -4 over 2 times 1. See? So b minus -4, because b is -4, over 2, and the a value is 1. Is this okay? So it's 4 over 2, which is 2. So the turning point is 2. Yes, so yeah, I wonder what's happening there, Cheketsang, but it is 4 over 2, right, which is 2. Then to find the y, we plug this into the original. So we're going to say 1 squared minus 4 times 1 minus 5, which then gives us minus 9. Okay, so we've got 1 squared minus 4 times 1 minus 5, which is 9, and we've got the x of the turning point, and we've got the y of the turning point. So our turning point will then be 2 and minus 9. How many of you got that? Great, okay. Great, okay, okay. Thanks for that. Okay, so I think turning point is something, I hope you've written nice notes, and you can, maybe for those of you that are struggling a little bit on it, maybe to do more questions on that, and also to recap the notes that you have from today. How many marks can this question be? Possibly, it depends. Different teachers give different marks, but I'd say most likely maybe 6 marks or so to draw it from scratch. Yeah, so we've got now our summary, as I always do, which is, let's get rid of this, put it there. So we had x equals to, was it 5? X equals to 5 and minus 1. Yes, and y is minus 5, right? So we had x equals to 5, x equals minus 1, y equals 2. We had minus 5, and the turning point was 2 and minus 9. Yes, this is the summary, right? Okay, y is minus 5. There we go. Now we can draw it. Are you ready to draw? Did you draw yours already? Whoops. This went. Let's minimize this and put it back there. Okay, so we're going to draw it. So x is 5 and minus 1. So we've got here y. And we've got here minus 1. Let's put minus 1 here. And 5 there. Okay, and then we've got y is minus 5. Okay, so we've got -5, and you've got your -9, which we will need, right? And I'm going to put 2 here. Okay, so let's draw this. Let's draw our 3 points that we need. We're going to need our, actually 4 points. We got our x-intercept -1 and 5. And we've got y is -5. And the turning point will be at 2 and -9. And there we go. We can connect all the points now. And this is the equation of y equals to, I think I'm going to be a bit squashed here. Let's erase that out. Y equals to, yay, and we've made it. Yeah. How's this looking? Great, yay. You can give yourself some clapping hands or high five for the hard work that you've put in. Well done. Great. Yeah. So we've come to the end of this lesson. And yeah, I also want to give you all, well, the high fives, and I want to give you all clapping hands and thumbs up, and well done for the great work that you've put in. Great. I see some smiley faces. Great. Yeah. Hope this has helped you understanding with parabolas and the drawing of them. And it's a start of the series of parabolas where we're going to do a lot more exciting things with these parabolas. So it's important also for the next lesson to take these notes and learn them and go through them and make sure that you have a solid foundation in the drawing of parabolas before we can proceed.
Yeah, right. Great, everybody. Well done. Just a few things. I'm just going to share my screen, and Dipesh, I'm just going to stop your screen share.
Yeah, it's gone.
Just to talk about a few course-related matters. Just going to go here. Okay, so you're here with us every Tuesday and Thursday for 6 lessons at 5:30. Today we did the first lesson, sketching parabola. So the next lesson on Tuesday is going to be on the equation of the parabola. And we're going to actually have 3 lessons on that because there's 3 different ways in which the parabola can be presented, and we're going to look at all 3 of those ways. And then we're going to do parabola and straight line intersections, and also some graph interpretation to go with that. Okay, now what we're also going to have is a leaderboard based on the number of activities you do during the time you're in the course on the app. Because remember, the app is still there with all the exercises and quizzes for you to go and do more practice. So this is what our leaderboard is going to look like. And on Tuesday when you come back, 5 of you who have done the most activities on the app, we are going to cheer you on and recognize you for that. And hopefully everyone is going to be working on the app and practicing. What are you practicing? I'll show you exactly what you can do. You go on the app to topics, functions and relationships, and we have a brand new section there called parabola. And you can start by doing these 2 lessons, graphing a parabola in standard form and graphing a parabola in turning point form. Okay, so those 2 lessons you definitely need to do before you come back on Tuesday. Right, so that's it from my side for course information. Anyone got any questions? There's an unread message here. No? any questions? Okay, great. Then please go and have a good evening, and we'll see you back here on Tuesday. Bye, everybody. Thanks, guys. See you.